So, what I'd like to share, what I'm going to share, may not fit for you. This may not be you. This may just be me. But if it fits, if you see it, this is this is the only way out. After 40 some years of looking and reading and searching and following teachers, some of them who were saying this and I couldn't hear it, it's become clear and clear and clear for me. And so here it is. Here it is. It may not fit for you. If everything that happens in my life is filtered through my conditioned belief systems, and if my conditioned belief systems were, created out of my heritage, my Anglo-Saxon work ethic, my, home relationship in my family, which was, dysfunctional to say the least. If my beliefs were formed out of the the entertainment of the time, and, I remember the Untouchables and shows that we watched that created my beliefs, my older brothers. So if everything is perceived out of the conditioned beliefs through my mind, and I continue to look at the world through that mind, well, I'll always be fucked. Yes, no matter how much work I did over the years trying to, somehow be a better person. You see, the basis of my belief system was that I wasn't. That was the foundation. The color of the water, the color of the being was not good enough. It was fundamental, and so for all these years I tried to fix it from that place, and it can't be fixed from there. Yeah, so this may not fit for you. You may have been brought up in a beautiful home with enlightened parents that conditioned you to unconditional love and helped you to see the gift in everything. That might have been you. It wasn't me. And so somehow I had a dissatisfaction. I was dissatisfied at one level, all of my life, because there was something missing. And what I didn't get is that at my core, at my natural self, at my true self, I am unconditional love. I am beautiful life. But I couldn't have that or be that and still be in my old way. So my old way was based in fear and not good enough. And no matter how hard I tried to change it, yeah. So the old way had belief systems that said, no, David's unworthy of love. David's not trustworthy. Those were things that were conditioned into me. And I lived from there. So what do we do with that? And I recognized that I had to see that my persona, that's what I'm talking about, was was always based on right and wrong, good and bad, right? So how do I let that go? And that becomes then the journey, not to change it. Not to change it when I discovered that my natural self was unconditional love. When I discovered that I am unconditional love. And you are unconditional love in our natural state. Then I realized that, oh my gosh, I don't have to try to change me. I just have to let that me go. Just not attachment. Say, look, that was a lie. That was a lie. And I believed it. I lived it. And it's gone. Yeah, it's not always gone. It's like, you know, for me, I'm kind of in this state of it still appears, you know, but it's, for the most part, when it appears, I just see it. I go, oh, look at that. You know, it's like, again, an old wound that's taking a long time to heal. It's just, I'm not picking at it anymore. I'm not attached to it anymore. It's just like, oh, wow. So I haven't become somebody else. This is the trick, you know, because ego says, well, we'll just help you to be nicer or better or more loving. I haven't become another persona. Just opened the door to my natural self. It is all of our natural selves. When we come into this planet, remember, and I've told this story a number of times, when you see a little baby, it's just brand new. It's just like, you know, an hour old. And you can feel the love. You can feel the presence of, we call it God, but it's the presence of life. And it's amazing. And it's like, oh my gosh. And we just often, you know, for years, I mean, I could never understand why I cried. I would cry with babies. And I cried because, you know, I was in the presence of love, of unconditional, you know, immeasurable love. And at the end of life, often it's the same. When all the persona is gone, when all the caring is gone, when there's nothing left but the moment. I sat with a friend as he died. And there's just love. So in the middle, we try to be something from our conditioning, from, you know, what mom and dad, who weren't maybe well, told us we were. You know, our grandparents told us we were, told us about the world. It's unsafe. Be careful. Don't trust strangers. and they filled us with fear. And then said, go out and, you know, succeed. And we're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'll be somebody once I have this, or I'll be somebody once I have that. And it's all just a lie. We already are. We are. That's it. That's the I was going to say road to freedom, but it isn't a road at all. It's just a realization. And then we get kind of good at watching our thoughts come up from our old conditioning. It doesn't just disappear for many of us. I think for some it does, but for many of us it doesn't just disappear. But we see that, oh my gosh, you know, and then we start to look around us and we recognize that many of our friends and family are still caught in this judgment world, in this complaint world. And then we develop compassion and a desire to share that we don't have to live that way. We're not truly living when we're seeking outside of ourselves. Well, the answer's there. Sit quiet with this. Just sit quiet with it for a bit. I'm going to read again. Sometimes, anyway, I just see what he has to say. You know, was written in 1954, 24-hour day book. As many of you know, I'm active in the 12-step world. My home group met last night for the first time in months and months and months. We have a new hall. We were hybrid. We were kind of Zoom and face to face. We had about 30 people. It was great, and we played along with the virus thingies that we're supposed to do. It was just great. I was so happy to be there, and a lot of the folks who come to the 12-step world are really, really trying to get out of this old conditioned belief about themselves and trying to live and trying to be free. And the beautiful thing about the 12 steps and the book that was written by Bill Wilson and crew is that it actually works. It's exactly what I'm saying. We live moment to moment with intuition, connected to our deeper self, our God. It's amazing. It works. For those that work it. Okay. This is September the 10th, I think. It says, September the 10th, says, here are the answers to the questions of how a man or a woman, this was very patriarchal at the time, 54, it was really quite a different time. 54, my gosh, it's like 60-some years ago. 66 years ago. Here are the answers to the questions of how a man or a woman can live without whatever their addiction is, liquor, drugs, obsessive eating, sex, all of the things that we've learned since our addictive behaviors, and be happy, he says. The things we put in place of drinking are more than substitutes for it. One is the fellowship of AA. Okay. So living in the fellowship is beautiful because we surround ourselves with people who are like-minded or who are not living in the illusion of the conditioned beliefs that we had. If we surround ourselves with people who recognize that they're not who they thought they were, it's helpful. And have a community like that in the 12-step world. I'm also creating a community like that. On Monday nights we have a meditation group here, which will be Zooming, so you can watch it no matter where you are or be part of it no matter where you are. In this company, you find release from care, boredom and worry. Your imagination will be fired. Life will mean something at last. The most satisfactory years of your existence lie ahead. Among fellow 12-steppers, you will make lifelong friends. You will be bound to them with new and wonderful ties. Does life mean something to me now? So the beauty of that program is that it actually does give us a place where we can be connected with like-minded people and grow together and support others, Actually, the cost to get in is so high. And there's no dues or fees, but we pay a big price in initiation to get in. I had a fella called this morning. He was taking a man to detox this morning, and it was clear when they got there that the man did not want to go in. Scared, probably scared to death. Did not want to go in. And he found several excuses and finally did not go, And the chances are he'll die. Fear, keeping him from, the fundamentals of detoxing so he can, we say the fella can stop using or drinking long enough to get some recovery. to come out of the hole enough. You lift it up enough to see, say, wow, okay, there is a life. And hope can come from that. It's beautiful. Meditation of the day. Do you want the full and complete satisfaction that you find in serving God and all the satisfactions of the world also? So, in the world that we're talking about, you can have your cake and eat it. It is not easy to serve both God and the world. If you work for God, you'll still have you will still have great rewards in the world, but you must be prepared to sometimes stand apart from the world. You cannot always turn to the world and expect all the rewards which life has to offer. If you are trying sincerely to serve God, you will have other and greater rewards than the world has to offer. That's clear, beautiful. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not expect too much from the world. I pray that I may also be content with the rewards that come from serving God. The thing that I want to clarify is that many times beliefs, even like the 12-step belief system, speak of God as separate, and it's not. It literally isn't like a separate thing inside of us either. It is the realization that God is either everything or nothing is amazing. And it's said to us by so many, the Alpha and the Omega, the one. And it's hard to hear. We're like, yeah. But our conditioning has taught us that God is separate. And we realize that God is either everything or he's nothing. It's so easy for us to see God in the tree. Imagine God or feel the presence of God in an animal or a baby. But it's almost like we're being blasphemous to suggest that we also are God. We are in our essence, not from an ego place, but in our essence. So just play with that as we come out of this idea that we're what we were told we were with our conditioning from our mom and our dad. As we let that go, and one thought at a time, just let it go. Just let it go. We see our thoughts as separate. We recognize it's our programming. As we let it go, we become one with the moment. And in this moment, it's a divine moment. Okay, that's it. Maybe too much. A couple of quick things. Like I said, we have a meditation starting on Monday nights. Love you to come. Hope this fits for you. And 7:30, Calgary time. And I'll put out the Zoom information hopefully today. And love you to go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. It's still under Valley and Beyond, Project Awakening. That's it. If you want to talk about these things, if you're caught in problem, let's talk about it. And we'll see how we can see past the beliefs. Okay, love you guys. Thanks.